right? You're in danger of losing your LCS spot. And for TL, that's almost something that seems too crazy to face, right? This is a team that is known for being near the top of the league, for being a consistent, strong performing team.
Well, we'll see what happens here in our second draft. Team Liquid on the blue side for this second one. Shen and Malzahar banned by them. Varus LeBlanc banned by Immortals, so kind of cool to see that ban. Immortals also respecting the power of the pick, but also respecting that, hey, we think Piglet can probably play this. And there's an Elise ban for Liquid, which I certainly like, given what we saw last game.
Yeah, Dardoch has been going off on Elise. Smash last game, he got a player of the game as well last time he was playing here at the LCS. And Piglet, round 2, do they take Ryze away, right? Do you say, hey, what else can you play? He actually looked good on Ryze, and there it is, right? I think this is a smart ban. Even though TL lost, Piglet did look good on Ryze, right? Force him to show you that he has a champion pool, that it's not just one thing.
Makes sense to pick on the new guys as first pick Camille actually for Team Liquid, and with almost zero hesitation from them as well. So could be support. We've seen that here and there. Shout out to Gate for bringing that one in. But of course, I'm kind of expecting him for Lolo here. Maybe for him to have a big carry performance. As we'll see a lock in for Jace there. Could be for Flame, but of course, seeing it a bit more mid. And Graves is a top tier jungler. Immortal's going to snag it here in round 1.
Yeah, it really is. And the Jace could be flexed. If they want to grab that Poppy, though, they have to do it first round, right? And Poppy is considered to be a pretty good matchup into the Camille. You can stop those stunts pretty easily. It has good gank assist. But they are getting over some high priority picks. I mean, this is Jhin, Rengar, Camille as the first 3 for TL. So if you're just looking at champion strength, TL has grabbed themselves some very powerful stuff, but they have to be able to perform on it.
We'll see what Immortals do here. Do they want the Poppy? Are they going to hide a different top lane pick? There's certainly some mind games to be played here. I certainly like where Immortals have got themselves into, but Liquid have also secured 3 very good champions, and it seems like they don't want to get pinched in AD carry because there aren't very many AD carries people want to play, so Sivir will be taken here.
I think it makes a lot of sense. I think there are a number of other AD carries, specifically because there's only one ban, right? So you still have Ashe, Ezreal, Caitlyn, Sivir, right? So you still have 4, you will get one, but this particular matchup is very good because Jhin has very low pushing power in the early game, and Sivir is very high, so you can kind of minimize a lot of his strengths by bullying him in, especially if you compare this with something like a Karma who can help you push.
We'll see what Liquid have maybe for the ban, but a Z ban for Immortals as they continue to pick on mid lane. They picked on Youngbin last time, pushing him down to Ezreal. Now it's Piglet's turn to feel the wrath of Hermes bans.
I mean, these are the 2 champions that I've been hearing that he has been playing, right? So now they're both banned off the table, and that is a tough spot for Piglet. This is his second mid lane game. He performed well in game 1. Now they're putting him in the spot where he's not first rounding his pick. He's going to have to be at the bottom of the draft getting target banned on your first series ever as mid lane. That's really, really tough.
Yeah, and there's a Syndra ban. Immortals could even pick a mid laner out of this phase as well. So Piglet is going to get put super far down in a role he is very new to. Rumble ban for Liquid is nice. So suspecting that Pobelt already has his champion, in Jace. But we'll see if they go for another top lane ban or if Liquid want to mix it up. But no matter how you slice it, things are looking tricky for Piglet as Renekton's the last ban out of this phase for Liquid.
They really are, and he's going to have to show us something special here if they want to come back in this series. Pobelter likely will get the Jace, but with a lot of top lane focus, already 3 top lane bans from TL, you could just say, Flame, you play it. But that said, Jace top has not worked well in North America. Jace mid has been much more successful. I'm expecting a top lane tank from Immortals, and that going mid.
And they're going to take the Poppy now as well, suspecting it's Camille top and not wanting to have it maybe picked away, I guess. They could have saved it, but they're going to get a counter pick on support. They'll lose Karma, which was the first pick I thought of if Team Liquid want to pick it, and they do.
Yeah, I think that Karma, I mean, this is a tough one, right? If you think that, theoretically, Camille could be flexed elsewhere, then yeah, that pick order makes sense. But to me, getting Karma Sivir bot lane is so powerful. And even if they somehow take away Poppy and do this weird Camille flex, you still have Nautilus and Maokai available.
Yep.
So I actually think that this is not the best decision in draft order. I really would have preferred them drafting the Karma because that kind of stops a lot of the pushing advantage that Immortals would have had.
Yep, I expected it there, but again, they have practiced this. Ole will get Janna once again, but I love the Ahri from Piglet. You know what? If he's gonna, go all the way back to Season 3, you might as well throw him in Ahri.
Ahri is actually pretty strong right now, I think. We did see Ahri come out, I believe, I want to say Power of Evil played it off the top of my head in EU. I think he looked quite good on it. So this is certainly a strong pick, and there is a more diverse damage profile from Liquid. That said, it's not like there's a lot of people who are going to be natural armor builders for TL. Camille can build some, though. We've seen Reignover go tank Rengar, has never looked good, but he could go full armor Rengar against this sort of composition, because this is a full AD team from Immortals, and they do tend to get outscaled.
Yep, you're going to have to look to that mid game to really use their strength and try and take down TL quickly.
Yeah. I mean, that said, if TL does not want to build armor, that does no longer hold true, right? Yep. If they're not going to armor stack, you can't actually fit those into your builds, it doesn't really matter. I mean, there's still going to be some advantages because you can build Seeker's Arm Guard on Ahri and things like this, get a lot of value, but if you're not stacking armor, late game Sivir is going to be very, very powerful.
Yeah, armor goes a long way, but we'll see what happens here. Very different looking compositions here for both sides here. Immortals kind of keeping aggression in a lot of the places we expect, but I think Graves Jace is a very different duo for Immortals. And I mean, Lolo is maybe the one to look at here, including the fact that we'll get Piglet's second mid lane game as well, because Ahri's a pick, he's been pushed down. We'll see what he does on what's kind of a pick that's coming back into the mid lane, and Lolo's on a carry. The last time this happened, Lolo went off. So Team Liquid, they're going to need a lot here to try and push themselves to a third game, but I think they've set themselves up nicely here to do so.
Yeah, Lolo certainly has the ability to carry these games, but my eyes are going to be a lot on Pobelter this time. He has been set up completely for success. He's gotten his highest priority pick, and they triple banned the first time mid laner of the other team. If you cannot smash this game as Pobelter, I think that there's some problems there. You know, he really should have a big advantage over Piglet on his fourth pick.
Well, second time now, I suppose, because Piglet is going to return to the mid lane for game number 2. Immortals up one here as the teams move out onto Summoner's Rift once again. And looks like just a fan here for both sides. Maybe some vision getting poked in. Pobelter tries to spy someone in the brush. Piglet's going to spot them, and Immortals don't really fancy moving too far forward.
The bot lane will be kind of interesting now because some of the math on Sivir out-pushing Jhin and getting that advantage is kind of thrown out the window when you have Karma on one side, a great pushing support, versus Janna on the other side, a support who adds almost nothing to the push, right? So this is something where they have kind of shored up a lot of those weaknesses, and definitely something I would attack as a mistake in the draft. But we have to see if TL can actually capitalize on this because their bot lane got blasted last game.
A liability, frankly. So we'll see if TL can clean that up and look again to Reignover and Dardoch to make those early plays. Dardoch especially always wants to play aggressively, at least in game 1, has Graves here again in the second one, and Graves is arguably the strongest jungler at the moment. So, I mean, Rengar notwithstanding, I think, is certainly up there. So we'll see what happens as Dardoch can get a bit of help from Flame, take down these Raptors ASAP.
I think Graves really up there. Ivern, people make the argument for that. There are definitely some very powerful junglers, and a lot of it just comes down to kind of personal preference, personal opinion. See how these guys can perform. Because TL has an incredibly strong, very disruptive dive composition. If they can get going, you have Karma shields speed up, Jhin ultimate opens up there, Rengar, Ahri, Camille, all diving backline. That's pretty frightening.
Kind of an interesting start to the lane there in bottom though. Rain over here, a little low, but should be perfectly safe. Didn't get any help, I don't think. But actually saving his smite, so he's trying something here. Dardoch though zipping through the jungle. Graves always nice and healthy, so should feel happy. But kind of interesting to see Cody-san and Ole fight the Jhin Karma lane so aggressively at level 1. Not sure I fancy that.
Yeah, I mean, Ole does have coins, so he gets a little bit more HP regen because of that, and he can get a little bit back. Nice little dodges there from Cody-san. So that may be playing into it, right? He's saying, okay, I trade some of my health, but I actually have this coin that's going to give me more and more health back. And you know, speaking of sustain and those kind of choices, it's interesting that Pobelter did not go for a longsword start. He actually started Doran's Blade, which we see very rarely now, especially into something like an Ahri, where you'd love to build a lot of longsword items, whether it's a Ghost Blade or a defensive Hex Drinker. His build has less innate sustain in it, at least first time around, but you know, Doran's Blade does pay dividends over time.
Well, looks like Reignover moving in towards IMT's jungle. Looks like both junglers actually are going to take some buffs away here, so it will just be a trade. Reignover, I think, look down bottom lane was kind of around just in case something happened, but going to take this blue buff. Dardoch's going to go ahead and trade on the other side, though, and everyone's just going to keep farming away.
Yeah, very evenly matched jungle paths here in the starting game. Both junglers even saving their smites to go in aggressively on their opponent's jungle and use that to take something away there. Nice trade on Cody-san.
Yeah, it's kind of one of the nice things about any Jhin lane is that he follows up nicely on what CC you bring. Matt, able to walk up nice and effortlessly there. Piglet, gonna be okay.
Yeah, this is a tough one to actually make work unless Piglet just kind of walks forward, and he's going pretty far forward, but he's cheating to his strong side. He knows that Dardoch would be coming from the top side of the map because his jungler did a full clear of the bot side of the map. So he's playing with that knowledge and using it pretty intelligently, even though he's not actually spotted him until just now.
Yep, Ward's gonna spot him out, so Dardoch gonna waste a bit more of his own time. Piglet might try and let him stick around, but Dardoch no, instead just walks back over. Sun again does not eat the mantra half of that Q.
One interesting point about that is normally you would be like, oh, look at all this time Dardoch is wasting. I can't believe this. There's actually nothing really for him to farm right now because of the jungle routes that they have done, and he lost his full bot side. So now he has to go around. He's going to try to contest rates, but he's not purchased yet, and this is kind of risky. I mean, Piglet's faster to this play. This is way too risky.
Dardoch, no, Chope's going to miss, but it does not matter. First blood goes to Piglet from the Ignite.
I mean, that was so ballsy from Dardoch. I think that was just straight up bad. The fact of the matter is, his mid laner is not even close to this. Look at where the mid lane is. Piglet is so much faster to this. Yeah, sure, if the Jace is fully pushed in, great, go for it. But he wasn't, and this cost them summoners, it cost them first blood, and that's a blue buff given over to Piglet. So just awful from Dardoch, and that's pretty brutal.
Yeah, his aggression costing him again. Gets picked off for free. First blood goes over to Piglet as well, who's up a little bit of CS and will go back and spend his extra money. Looks like Matt and Rainover roamed up towards top lane as well, looking for a 3v1 versus Flame.
I mean, he's so far up, it's going to be tough for Flame to get out with that root that's going to come in.
There's the exhaust. Flame's got his splash, going to need to use it pretty creatively. Still going to get locked down and go down to Matt.
Great job from TL. They're gifted one first blood. They roam top as a squad, get another. So this is really a much better start from TL, and the bot lane is actually up a couple CS.
Well, looking good so far. Looks like Matt and Youngman have done a nice job in the 2v2, and of course Matt left, so Youngman's just going to wait patiently for the waves to come towards him. IMT are freezing this wave, which I suppose is fine, trying to deny some CS from Youngman, but Jin's just going to chill. He's pretty long range on the W, able to snipe out where he can, and now Rainover's going to walk Matt back towards the bottom lane.
For Dardoch now, he has to kind of farm it out. He's still going to be strong, and he didn't actually blow his flash in that death at least, so he still has playmaking ability. He still can move around the map and get right back into it. But it's definitely a quick start here for Piglet, who is already level 6, and Rainover likely will hit 6 first, and then can look to make that gank work. And the first Rengar gank is so important.
Oh, Cody Sun, great grenade there from Youngbin. Actually made sure the snare landed. Got a bit of mana back for the Sivir, but doesn't go down.
And this is a level 6 Rengar now. He has snuck around here and can look to make something happen, but Pink Ward will spot him out. At least Immortals is aware of the possibility of an ultimate.
Rainover is going to take this down. Crab's going to get snared, and Rainover will take that for himself instead, just making sure TL have control of this right side.
And Piglet is actually making a roam up to top. They're looking to set up a dive here. This is a bit risky, but they both have level 6. He needs to hit the Charm.
Flame already taking damage. Charm's going to miss, and Lolo snared against the wall. Needs to commit the ultimate. Hextech ultimatum down, but Piglet can't get in. Knock it there from Flame as Lolo flashes out, but that dive did almost nothing.
Yeah, I mean, and Pobelter is here. This is very risky. Pobelter just needs to hit the Shock Blast. We'll see if he can do it.
Have to try and read Lolo here. Needs to wait for the wave. Gets him straight in the face. And now they're going to chase down Piglet. Not going to see him. But now Cody Sun has actually done damage to Youngpin.
That was just such a risky dive. You need to hit the Charm to have a chance of that even working. And even on a flashless Poppy, he's still very tanky. These are not guys who are just going to punch right through him. So they needed the Charm. They couldn't land it. Piglet didn't have summoners to add that extra damage, and now Rainover in onto Dardoch.
Oh, lands a snare there as well. Dardoch bouncing one against the wall. Turns around with his ulti, and Rainover might just go down. Flashing from Dardoch. Needs another shell. There's one. Red buff going to do it. And Dardoch slays Rainover.
Nicely played from Dardoch. Does get that kill right back in it, and Immortals battling back 2 quick kills.
Good to see Team Liquid being proactive. It's a mis-execution on these plays.
Good Charm.
Because Piglet as well. Exhausted is down. Pobelter just going to run this one straight under the turret. Bats him down with a thundering blow.
And there's the power of the Jace. I mean, Piglet, he knew he had no ultimate because he went topside. He goes for that. It doesn't work. He doesn't have summoners from earlier. Pobelter goes for the clean all-in. Just very well played from him and knowing his limits.
Now got 2 kills as well. So Pobelter on a roll for the first time in a while. Immortals still even in goal, but they're up a kill which is going to feel nice for them.
That's it. I mean, a lot of this is all off of the super aggressive play that they try to make topside. It could have looked good had they made it happen, but it's such a low percentage play. And not only does that cost you the failure of topside, which gave Pobelter his first kill, now you get all in because you gave him gold to buy that, more power, and you have no ultimate to actually easily live this, right? So if he has the ultimate, Pobelter can't make that play. And that is the snowballing fact of League of Legends that is often overlooked. People look at the one play and say, oh, it's not that bad, right? We tried it, but it didn't work. Who cares? Well, this is what comes to be from that play failing.
The best teams know how to take those snowballs and just cascade them into bigger and bigger advantages. Piglet going to move his way over to the blue buff, so should be happy with that pickup. Ole getting some vision down. Wanting to make sure they have Dominion over the Infernal Drake. There's blue for Piglet. Blast cones his way back. Oh, not this time. Pobelter going to take the control ward down instead.
Credit where credit's due, though. Piglet has been doing well both games, and he wants to extend his advantage. He knows how last game went. He doesn't want to sit around. He got first blood, and he's trying to extend that lead to the rest of the maps.
Yep.
You know, top lane play didn't work. It ended up getting him killed, but he's still right in there, and we'll be looking to make those aggressive plays.
Yeah, like I said, thought behind the play, wonderful. Execution, not so hot. We'll see if they can improve on next time. I do like that Piglet has been proactive roaming around his lane. Pobelter picks up the honey fruit in the meantime. Just going to zoom his way back to mid lane in the transform. Piglet still shoving out waves, wanting to make sure he kind of does the administration here before he does go on his roams. And Ole and Dardoch are lining up a dive.
Yeah, they are looking, but Rainover is going to be coming with his ultimate. He's on the way, and this could get turned around onto Immortals.
In ultimate hits Ole once. Second shot's going to hit Dardoch. Third lands onto Ole again. Matt's going to try and take him down. The crit shot goes wide. Piglet's here as well. There's the snare landing. Rainover dives in as Ole flashes out. And Piglet just can't make it down in time. Now
both teams coming in.
Flames in first. Thorlo's in as well, but Flame's going to try and just run it all out. Pobelter, we're going to take one down as Cody Sun gets Matt. Flame is going to fall on the front side as ulti out from Dardoch does a bit of collateral damage.
10 members in the bot lane. It's a party. But it is only the 1-for-1. A support for that top laner.
Not a bad trade for Team Liquid, but I don't think they have enough to try and get anything more. They want the Infernal Drake, but Immortals just going to force them to stay here. Rainover gets chunked out by the Jace.
Yeah, I mean, it would be risky to go for that Infernal, and that is kind of the extra price of everything that's happening in the bot lane here, and Youngbin pretty far up.
Not tagged, but the Exhaust is going to get him. Tornado is going to save him, but Youngmin going to have to flash out of this one. Good flash over the wall, but Cody Sun is going to keep roaming down. Doesn't want to dive, doesn't have any mana. Youngmin will live this time, but no flash means he's a prime target for the next gank.
And that might actually end up costing him the dragon, because now not only does he have to base, but he's summonerless. So Dardoch starts it right up, and that is the big cost of that error from Youngmin. It's not just the summoner, it's the following one. And you know, TL wants to contest this, but Rainover doesn't have ultimate. They don't have TP. This would be a very hard contest. Rainover could try to go for a steal, but that's about it.
Doesn't have smite, so that's probably out of the picture as well. Dardoch takes it down. Clean Drake for Immortals, and looks like they'll get out scot-free as well. In fact, Pobelter going to face check one. Gets chummed in by the Ahri. Takes damage from the Q, but just fires right back. Piglet
almost had his ult there. It's just coming up now. I think if he has his ult, he probably goes for that all in. But because he did not, he doesn't go for it. And Pobelter is patient with the exhaust. That's the thing. Correctly played by both sides.
Good bit of poke. Pobelter going to recall though and spend some more of that money. Look for that first major item. Piglet might just have enough for Morellonomicon. Should indeed with change. As there's the Ghostblade done now for Pobelter with an extra longsword to boot. So things looking good as Flame bops himself over the wall. Gonna look to collect the minions that Lolo just pushed in. Gets a ward down onto the red buff, so a little more vision on Dardoch in this side of the map. We'll see if TL can continue to make proactive plays, because they've done a nice job here forcing things onto Immortals and not kind of letting the game get too out of hand too quickly.
No, I mean, this is very, very even. I think you could say with the added stats from the Infernal that it's pretty much dead even, despite a tiny little gold lead for TL. And they've looked much better in Game 2. They're staying composed. You can tell that they did not let Game 1 really affect their mentality, and I think that is very, very important.
See what else they can get done, though. Only 13 minutes into this game, so still a long way to go before we're even into the meat of the mid-game. Piglet again looking for another ward. Finds Dardoch, charms good! And Piglet going to get his way over. Needed a charge. No, didn't even need it. Auto's there with the ignites enough for Dardoch.
Nicely played from Piglet, making an advantage. from that war that they actually had down. So they get the vision, they make the play, and Reignover is coming in with the ultimate. They want to catch Pobelter, but he's quickly getting out of there.
Yeah, Jay's pretty speedy.
Ooh, round 2, top lane. They're going for the dive, I guess.
Hectic ultimatum onto Flame. Reignover's running up as well. Flame kicks one out. Goodbye, Lolo. And now Cody-san onto Youngbin here. 2v2 all in. Could be a kill. Boomerang Blade. Not quite enough, but Cody-san wants it. Flash auto. Secures himself.
And he'll get it. There's the cash in from the earlier Flash Force. They're now pressuring heavily on this turret. No one really there to kind of help out, so Matt has to clear out the minion wave and is able to do so.
Nice spell shield there from Cody-san reacting to the Q.
Yeah. He should have stepped a little bit more forward, though. That was actually the mistake. So even though he blocked it, the problem was the splash was in range of those ranged minions. So we want to take one more step forward, block the Q, keep the minions alive, get more damage on the turret.
That feel when you block it, but you didn't really block it. Story of Cody-san and Siva right now, but they might still get the turret. As Dardoch is trying to get Reignover off his own red buff. Smite's available for both junglers, so bit of a battle for it. Who wins? Looks like Reignover, I think, won that round.
Yeah, Reignover didn't even smite, but Dardoch just put it down to about 1 HP. It does get it. And here's the easy rundown onto Youngbin. They know he has no flash. Cody-san, quick follow-up, does take him down. And although they were doing pretty well early, the floodgate's starting to open a little bit down in the bot lane as they've gotten themselves a couple kills. They're up pretty well in CS. They're pressuring the turret. That is a little bit rough, especially when you're going up against the Janna, who I think has more strengths later in the game than early.
You can see Youngbin there. Just leans back in his chair after that. Kind of knows he made a mistake there. Gets himself killed as a result. But, you know, a lot of pressure on the rookie here for Team Liquid.
Yeah, it's really, really hard. There's so many extra circumstances that are adding pressure to his debut. I mean, not only is this his first game ever, it's in a role that he didn't play competitively before. It's for a team that has high expectations and has not been performing. And it's against Immortals, who really are on an upward swing. You know, this is not the easiest first opponent for them to face.
No, certainly not. It looks like Reignover's trying something here in the bottom lane, but Dardoch's already here to meet him. Could be a 3v3 brewing. Piglet's already left mid lane, though. Looks like instead, Kings will just back away. Immortals do want to take that first turret and collect the extra gold, but TL again showing good defense here in the mid game.
They certainly have been able to hold on to that for now, but it feels almost inevitable that it's going to go down. As long as Immortals keeps vision out and does not get picked off, they will continue to push in, and they will eventually poke down that turret. And for Rengar, yeah, you would think, okay, great, we'll just ult that pushed up bot lane. Janna blocks you out of that pretty easily. Tornado plus ultimate. You can very easily knock the Rengar back, and it's pretty hard to actually run down this sort of a bot lane.
And I'll say again, Immortals have to really be respected for the pacing they showed in game 1. Yes, they were very far ahead, but I think they played it not too quickly and not too slowly, and just kind of did what they needed to do to close out the game effectively. Here again, they have another lead, but it's significantly smaller than the last one. And they're still just showing the same amount of discipline, confident in their ability to play around the map, continue to build advantages slowly, and then win together as a team. That is not something we saw in Immortals in the first few weeks, and you can tell that this team has been building chemistry together, even against an opponent where they might be expected to come in, certainly at least favored. It's nice to see Immortals have just grown a lot and matured as a team.
And where the leads are coming from this game is also something that's important to look at, right? You know, it's not the Dardoch show this time around, but his team is saying, you know what, it's okay. You know, he made a mistake, but they have been able to make up for it. Pobelter with some good roams. He's up farm, has a couple of kills. The bot lane looking very good. So Dardoch does not have to be the one to carry this game,
no,
which is important.
Cody-san certainly looked good beside Ole, and Flame is just kind of absorbing the pressure that Team Liquid are throwing at him.
I think Ole quietly has been one of the best supports in the LCS. I think that as a whole, their bot lane has not been the strongest, but I've actually been very impressed with him overall. I mean, even just last game, he actually did the most damage in the game on Misfortune. Not the most for his team, not the most for his position, the most for the whole game. So definitely did very well on the MF.
Oh, Pobel's looking for the big outplay. Got two people in mid lane though. Does have his flash, jukes one bullet, jukes another bullet.
Nicely done by Pobelter. Gets a couple ultimates in there. Doesn't have to expend anything.
Oh, now with the Youngbin, Ole's going to slow him down. Pobelter flashes for it. Youngbin flashes out as well. Drake also went over to Immortals in the exchange, so continuing to snowball that objective. And Pobelter's certainly a player we've been looking at. Feels like some of that swagger's starting to return. There's ever time to gain confidence moving into the second half of the season. It's against a fresh mid laner here over on Team Liquid's side.
Definitely is. We need to see more of an emphasis, I think, from TL just on vision as a whole. You know, last game, we talked a lot about vision during the game. Some of the warding stats were actually pretty shocking, though. I mean, 9 extra pink wards placed for Immortals, 12 extra regular wards, as well as killing off 16 more of their opponent's wards. When you look at that all told, that is a massive discrepancy. That is 37 more wards, essentially, on the map for Immortals. And that is just, like, so much, especially in a pro play game. It's very hard to ever make the right choices when you don't have the information.
Yep, and you have to, again, just take risks. And unfortunately, generally when you take risks, you get punished. Yep. Particularly when you're behind. So Immortals, again, just kind of playing this at a nice controlled pace. We'll see what TL can do to keep the game proactive for themselves. And again, this game is also nice and even. Towers are starting to fall down, so we're going to open things up a bit. Dive on the flame.
It's risky.
Rainover though feeling pretty tanky. Piglet goes in. They're going to try and dive it out. Good W though from Flame. And the charm's going to miss. That denies everything from that play. And now Immortal straight onto mid looking for Matt. Dardoch flashes straight in and blows Matt apart. Now Youngman's going to taste it. There's the damage. Last auto's enough. There's a double for Dardoch.
They make him pay. Failed dot on the bot side. And Dardoch's able to go in. They're going to get the top lane turret. They get a couple kills. And I just don't know why they're trying to force so hard on the Poppy. It may be that they think they can't actually make something happen around Janna, that she just is going to block the Rengar too much. But as long as Flame doesn't get charmed, it's really hard to see how he dies in a lot of these plays. And he's playing it smart. He's standing in the middle of his minions. He's not giving Piglet an angle to land the charm.
Really nice stuff there. So we'll watch this mid lane play again. TL just didn't have much to defend with here.
Yeah, and I mean, this would be fine if your jungler had not just shown bot lane and all those ults had been expended, but that was shown. They know Camille's top side, they know where the other members of the team are, so they can make this dive happen, and it's well executed by Immortals.
Tower stands in mid lane though, but Pobelta did get the top lane outer, so 2-1 up in turrets for Immortals is also feeling good. And now you're starting to see all of the groundwork they were doing before come to fruition in a gold lead. They're up almost 3,000 gold, and Immortals, if game 1 is an indicator, they'll continue to play this nice controlled pace, set up their waves correctly, collapse on the objectives at the right time, and then at some point, this gold lead will double or triple, and Team Liquid will seem like they're not in the game anymore.
Yeah, their macro play has just looked really good. The movements around the map, the pressuring of the waves, as well as the individual team fighting, and going for a play here again, but how does this one work?
Cody's son doesn't get the respawn as the last gym bullets went hit onto his spell shield. But again, TL used the Gen ultimate, try for a play and just can't get a pick.
At least it is just a trade of ultimates there. The Silverall comes out, so not a big loss at all for TL. But Immortals pushing in the bot lane, and Pobelter is going to take down these turrets so quickly if he gets any alone time. The question is, did he go too far up as Rainover is coming down quickly?
Teleport in from Immortals is nice and deep. He's trying to cut around Lawler, but Rainover takes him out instead. And now Flame's here in a 2v2 with Dardoch in as well. Oh, they're going to cut off Matt on the other side as Lawler is still fighting his way out. Youngbin trying to tie them down as Ole wants to save his teammates. Needs to line up for the ultimate, but just trying to chase them
behind.
out.
He's going to look for the assassination.
Big flank here.
Nice
Look at the There's the kill. Can he get any more? TL still on the chase. Flame trying to just run the rest of the team around, but Piglet goes straight for the throat into the backline. Dardoch gets snared up by Jin W, and Ole resets it with an ultimate. Tornado's good for 3, but TL get another kill for Rainover, and now Dardoch gets double left on, snared down and taken down. Double kill for Rainover.
That is so big for TL. Pobelter overextending in the bot lane, gets punished, baked his whole team into this collapse where they just get decimated. And this has been a trend for Pobelter all year long. He's always overextending in the side lanes, not respecting his opponents. Rainover makes him pay there with Lorlo, and TL are right back in it. They got another lease on life.
Yeah, I mean, gold lead's still even. There's no huge leads that have really been developed. I mean, Immortals had the start of one with a 2,000 to 3,000 gold lead, but we've turned that back around here with one nice play.
They don't have the vision for him to be this far up. He's not respecting the fact that Rengar is almost always going to be able to make that rotation faster. And once Pobelter is down, that's a lot of the team's damage. So, sure, you're able to get some poke down onto Lorlo, but this was a great flank from Piglet that really enabled them to pile completely in and finish off this fight. And Piglet does deserve a lot of credit, gets that first kill, and now it's full retreat for Immortals because their only source of damage is Dardoch, and he does not have the safety to actually ever step up.
It's an easy chase here. Plenty of brushes for Rainover to reset on. Actually uses the control ward for 1. And then a nice double reset there to finish this one off as well. fanciness there from Team Liquid. I like some of the swagger in the individual plays. Ooh. And right back in it as Pobelter shows Youngbin what's up. 2 lethality item Jace is pretty good.
Some lethality on lethality action there. It looks like we might actually be getting the Ninja Tabby Jace, or sorry, not Jace, rather Jin, as he has picked up that cloth armor. And even if these guys don't go full tank, you see Tabbies on Lorlo, which are going to be incredibly effective against triple ADC. I think Tabbies for pretty much everyone this game is so good on TL because it's not just 3 physical, it's 3 auto attackers, right? And Reignover has elected to go for the tank build that we talked about, which is going to make him very difficult to deal with in the team fights. He already has a lot of armor, and you know, Lorlo probably finishes his Titanic, and then I would expect him to start building pure armor too. And that's where it can start to get problematic for Immortals, because even though the gold lead is even, composition's tough.
It's a relatively interesting breakpoint here. Immortals shoving down mid, but there is a Drake on the table, and the gold is nice back to even. A team could look to get a lead here. They can win a clean team fight, but Piglet just got chunked and busy dealing with minions over in mid side, so Immortals get the track on Dragon.
It's a big strength of Jace, especially when you have that minion wave, and DL looking to contest here.
Lane blocking as much as he can, Immortals staying grouped. Reignover looking for the long flank around the side.
He's going to the back.
Drake goes down, but they want to try and start the fight. Reignover on the other side looks for Olay. Good flank by Piglet once again. He's going to take down Cody Stone on the back of the Orb of Deception. Double off from Flame, could turn it back around as Pobelter is diving onto Youngbin. Lorlo though stuns him as they kite him back away, and Team Liquid, a 3-1 team fight win, make it 4 as Flame goes down as well.
That's going to be the Baron 2 base tree. TL can walk straight up there and get another advantage. Big team fight win. They give over the Dragon, but they will get the Baron. And that was such a good flank from TL. Great play from Reignover and Piglet.
No Immortals wanted the Drake and just baited them into a position together. I mean, Ole's here. If he steals this Baron, he may truly be the best support in the LCS, but Lawler's going to try and track him down. Make sure absolutely nothing can go wrong. And that's Baron Team Liquid. All of a sudden, they have a lead.
They certainly do, and this should be a kill on Olay. The exhaust may prevent it.
Trying to find the chase. Lolo's just casually drifting between 2 turrets.
Either way, great stuff from TL. I mean, this is the power of the composition that TL has drafted, though. They're able to actually set up the flank. You can see Piglet coming down from the bottom. Reignover goes up from the top. You have this team of 380 carries that wants the kite and stuff. And Jana can disengage, but cannot disengage all sides at once, right? So this team is getting squished in. They're not able to get their damage out. Cody Sun has a big gold lead, but if he's going down this fast, he's not actually able to make any use of it.
Really nice fight there for Team Liquid, and they'll find themselves up, not quite 1,500 gold, but they should get significant damage done with the Baron buff. Baron is such a huge surge in instant power once you get it, but it is temporary. So doing as much damage as you can is important, and Pobelter can be the first bit. Dive-in's going to start. Last bullet's easy one for Youngbin. Redemption's going to keep him safe for the dive, and they'll take this turret.
Yeah, they just have no return damage there, so the dive was never going to stop.
Ooh.
Flame showed topside. No one else was there to support Pobelter. And TL keep on trucking.
And Lolo down bottom side's going to prime the next turret for the rest of his team. Team Liquid should be able to shove 2 lanes significantly and just take some more turrets for themselves. Kind of the gold standard for Barons is that you get an inhibitor turret out of the deal, or inhibitor preferably. We'll see just how much of that Team Liquid can do, but there's a turret down for Lola. Now Flame's forced to pull down and answer that, and Lola doesn't really care about Flame at this point. Happy to try and 1v1, although Dardoch is going to join in on the party as well. Lola just going to walk out there back towards the mid lane.
I mean, especially with the red buff there. He has the red buff, he has Fervor, he has his 2 completed items. Lorlo is so much stronger than Flame at this point in the game, and it is going to always mean multiple people have to respond to that pressure.
Looping top side now. Team Liquid, I think, might just take the safe play here and look to take all the tier 2 turrets off the table. 5 turrets right now to 3s. Big gold there for Team Liquid as well as good openings on the map to give themselves pressure there. Blue buff going to go over to Lolo. Pobelter almost managing to steal it away, but not this time. And the squad's out as they recall with the Baron buff. They've got 1 minute and 15 left to play with.
Yeah, I don't really see them getting another turret, but I don't really think it matters at this point because they are starting the full-on armor stacking. Look at how much armor Reignover already has. This guy's going to be ridiculously hard to actually deal with. Immortals, that said, they'll have a much easier time defending their inhibitor turrets and their backline turrets because you can't really pull off these flanks, right? When you come out of the base, that's where TL's composition succeeds. But still, Dardoch is
I don't know if
far up
he's
here.
trying to take this Grump. Ulti gets his way out over with a quick draw, but there's the blast going in for Rainover.
Rainover just doesn't take damage.
Leaps his way back in. Good snare as well. Piglet blows him up. And now the fight starts again. Pobelta caught in the Hextech ultimatum. They're going to chase him down. Rainover unstoppable. Gets another kill.
I don't know what Dardoch was doing that far out at this point in the game. They already based, they have the Baron, they're going to be pushing up topside. Had no business being there, not only goes down, but does end up having its mid laner go down too.
Only a player as polarizing as Dardoch could have the Dardoch be both the best and worst aggressive play you can possibly make in the jungle. We talked about it, Dardoch, the thing he seems to be missing most as a player might very well be some self-control, and that's not the first time this series that he's kind of had an oopsie moment.
No, I mean, this game, Rainover and Piglet are super outperforming their counterparts. Pobelta and Dardoch have not looked too good this one. And I mean, that's a tough situation to be in. Even just as far as mental tilt, like, if you lose this game to Piglet as Pobelta, and then you have to go into another one, you know how much flame you're going to get. So that can start to weigh on you.
Well, TL again looking to still shut things down. Dardoch again a little far forward, going to get snared up. As Rainover's just tanking turret shot after turret shot. Piglet looking for another flank. That's going to burn the Sivir ultimate out of Cody's Sun.
They can dive so easily because Rainover does not have to care about the turrets either. He has so much armor stacked, he essentially ignores most of the damage. Until these guys get their full, like, Lord Dominic's, their Last Whisper items coming in, they really don't do much to him.
Well, there's another turret for Team Liquid. Now it's 6 versus 3 as far as structures go, and a 7,000 gold lead for Team Liquid. They're looking in a similar position to Immortals in our first game. Kind of primed with maybe 1 or 2 more plays to take the game. Lolo deep, though, going to have to get himself out. Doesn't burn his GA, though. Holds on to that particular cooldown.
That is key, that he did not go down. If he dies in the base, probably gives up the GA and his life, and really does allow Immortals to push out and probably claim this next dragon, which is what's going in their advantage, right? So the fact that he stays alive means they can contest the dragon and probably will be TL's first.
Piglet is booking it down the bottom lane as well, because Immortals have done a nice job creating a distraction. Thankfully, it's a very financially strong distraction for Piglet. He's going to get himself a nice bucket of gold for cleaning out all these minions. And Drake up as well. Looks like Dardoch actually first to the scene. Might be able to get his team yet another Drake, and they do have 3 already.
You have to think this is going to be a repeat of the previous dragon fight, though. They're able to be flanked and they're starting it up, but I don't think they can do this.
Flame's just chilling on the fruit, hoping it keeps him alive, but he's been CC'd for like 5 seconds or so as he's forced to burn the flash.
Yeah, I mean, Dardoch wanted to just try to rush it down, see if he could get that dragon, get more of an advantage there. I mean, if you can grab that second mountain, you have the ability to crush turrets and maybe rush a Baron. They're not able to do it, though, and will have to back out.
Doesn't cost them too much, as TL will get themselves their first Drake of the series, managing to take down this mountain for themselves. And if sieging might be part of the problem as far as ending this game goes, that's a great step towards it there. As Dardoch is back at this Grump, but a little safer to take it this time.
And as Camille gets more and more armor, the dive becomes that much stronger, right? She can tank more turret shots, she can be more and more aggressive, and Lorlo and Rainover will be getting shielded up by Matt, going in really, really far, and looking to get those kills. And I think it's going to be tough for these guys to stop that. I really would like to see Pobelta and Dardoch, though, just buy the mini Last Whisper. You don't even have to fully upgrade it. In 7.4, you get 45% armor penetration for a 1,300 gold buy. It's extremely gold efficient against a team that has this much armor, right? This is 4 armor items for Rainover, and multiple armor items are already being purchased for Lorlo. So they need that Last Whisper if they're going to actually have a chance of killing them.
Well, like you said, they stacked a lot of AD in this team comp, and TL have taken full advantage of that, which is going to be even more painful given that they have a lead. Baron is also up again, so Team Liquid going to look to take another Baron in this game, and should be enough power to look to end this particular game.
And you also can't knock TL's vision this time around. They have 5 pink wards out on the map. They have full control of their opponent's jungle, and they are already on that Baron.
Piglet looking for another flank, trying to fight an Olay. Rainover going to stay and tank up the Baron as Lolo zones the rest away. Immortals are blind, so they can't really do much but poke their head and then hope they don't get killed. Ole again gonna get chunked by Piglet, who's trying to make the play. Pobelta, they're gonna chase him down, but that's not enough. Pobelta now running himself out as Flame is taking damage on the front side, but Ole already bleeding low as Rainover just goes straight in. Lolo again's gonna try and make the huge backline plays. Immortals flip the kite back down, and Lolo finally takes down Pobelta. Flame's gonna go down here as well as Lolo gets the double kill, and Dardock left bleeding's gonna get the GA, but he also goes down to Rainover, and Cody's son flashes out of the way. Rainover can't follow with a flash of his own, but that's 3 kills for TL.
They just can't take down the front line. Full AD composition. You fall behind, it falls apart. Lorlo right into the base, and they're going to crack this wide open.
Oh, Matt cancels 2 recalls for the price of a couple of
They could actually end off that, perhaps. I mean, Matt is going to keep stopping the recalls. The respawns are long.
Good flash from Matt. He's going to keep buying
They're on
more
the Nexus
time.
turrets.
And Matt,
I think that's it.
I mean, Matt's just going to do what he can, but the Nexus turret's now exposed. Team Liquid having a much better goal, but Matt finally falls. But Nexus turret 1 is down. The second's going to go down here as well. And Team Liquid with a decisive Game 2 win are going to push this series to a 3rd.
Huge comeback for Team Liquid. And Piglet shows up big time. You triple ban him. His second ever professional mid lane game. He was 5, 1, and 10 on Ari. Really performing well. And Immortals drafting there left a lot to be desired. You know, we pointed out the Poppy over the Karma choice really kind of hurt their bot lane, I think, quite a bit. It hurt their ability to be aggressive and expand their advantages there. They also drafted a triple AD carry composition into some people who can build armor. And if you fall behind, that's what's going to happen.
And it almost feels like thinking that, you know what, the way we win this game is just by snowballing again. Yeah. You give Dardock a champion like Graves, I fully expect him to be able to win you the game, or at least get enough of an advantage that you can parlay that into a strong enough lead to try and take it. But that did not happen this game. Yeah. Rainover played exceptionally well. And
you would expect that Pobelter should have the advantage over Piglet, right? And the bot lane to have the advantage over the opposing bot lane, which they did. You know, they were up actually a couple thousand gold on the AD carry relatively early in the game, but it did not matter because the rest of the map was even further ahead.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the tough thing, right? Youngbin still looking good. Team Liquid overall looking a whole lot better. And for more on that comeback win for Team Liquid, let's send it over to the analysts.
Thank you very much, Pastry and Azael, and a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. We still have one more to pass through. It could be pretty dark at the end, but
they make it to Game 3.
They make it to Game 3. A little more team communication seen coming through for Team Liquid here, and they were going up against the composition Immortals could have ran them down with. We haven't seen the Silverjana for a while, and Team Liquid handled it quite well.
It was interesting, right? Because with the Jace mid lane and the Silverjana bot lane, they were hoping to be able to just kind of overpressure the map and then have, with the Graves jungle, a huge amount of turret pushing potential to kind of snowball the game. But they had over-aggression in the jungle early from Dardock, and that gave a few of the advantages kind of back to Team Liquid and allowed them to get to that armor stacking point before the Black Cleaver and the last Twist Reaper completed for the all-AD team.
And the all-AD team doing quite well as they went through. We see a replay at 23:30 as Immortals is on your screen, and this is where Immortals took quite a hit within the game. In the bot lane, it was waiting again. They talked about it on the stream. Pobelter in the lane by himself for too long.
Exactly, and there were no wards to control this beforehand, and Rainover had a really strong game on Rengar, I'd have to say, being able to collapse and usually be the first one to the spot. And then here, they're already down the Jace, so why are Flame and Dardock fighting so heavily? You have to question that, and it gives time for Piglet to come up with a huge flank. And this was another consistent thing about the game, is Piglet being able to consistently take down Cody's son, because those dual lane issues that TL was having in Game 1 with Youngbin and Matt losing was the same in this game.
Yes.
It's just in team fights, they were able to kill him before he'd be able to do damage, and that's Cody's son.
We still saw Youngbing somewhat getting caught out in his roams around the map, trying to keep together with the team, but the ultimates of the curtain call really allowed Liquid to kind of surpass what the errors he was making last time and get engages on their own terms, not with their backs turned, because we saw him go down a few times in the bot lane, being too far forward, and his back being turned was the only kind of result they had in that fight.
I do feel like it's kind of funny that the last time Piglet had a different AD come in Fabi, he played Jhin and stayed 3,000 units behind the fight and was able to contribute without being able to win lane. And that is what they were able to do with Youngbin in this game. If it works for them, all they need to do is scrape a few wins together, and they're going to have to go to this Game 3. But I don't really expect Immortals to come in with the same type of reckless abandon they played with in the second
Right.
game. Immortals was so dominant in that first game and have such a clear advantage in that dual lane. If they play a little smarter, I feel like they'll definitely have an edge. And you can see they had a pretty big edge in 23 minutes in this game.
Yep, it seemed that they just got scattered. Piglet was picking up kills, so was Rainover, but Piglet taking the honors this time. A lot of people thought he'd be coming in, spamming Corki, but he's had the rise, and now the Ahri in this game, he'll get player of the game.
Yeah, and the Ahri flanks coming in again and again. He had that one little blunder in the mid lane when he tried to make a play top lane in the field, and he got killed back by Pobel through the
It did
mid.
seem like the mechanical dives weren't there, but an open team fight where he could really just pick out his target really worked for him.
Exactly. Laning phase, awesome. Team fight phase, awesome.
Yeah.
And it's just the in-between that he was a little struggling on. But without those flanks, Sivir destroys those team fights.
That's
so
true.
Piglet, a big reason why they won that game.
All right, well, Team Liquid has tied up the series, as you saw. Meet us here to see if Immortals can bounce back. We'll be right back.
Piglet's faster to this play. This is way too
not a good. Choke's gonna miss, but it does not matter. First blood goes to Piglet from the Ignite. Rainover might just go down, flashing from Dado. Needs another shell. There's one. Wrap up gonna do it. And now Cody-san onto Youngbin here. 2v2 all in. Could be a kill. Boomerang blade. Not quite enough. But Cody-san wants it. Flash auto. Looking for Matt. Dado flashes straight in and blows Matt apart.
Hey, no flash Graves, no
Just
flash
careful,
Ana.
take
One Sivir, Sivir's
nice,
dead.
nice.
Nice,
I
nice,
have
nice.
W2,
I play
W2.
Yep. I got Metro, I got Metro.
I go to.
8, 6,
There's no
5,
flash.
4.
Nice, guys. Good job, man.
Rainover on the other side looks for a way. Good fight by Piglet once again. He's going to take down Cody-san on the back of the Orbit Deception. Double ult from Flame. Could turn it back around as Pobelta is diving onto Youngbin. Lolo, though, stuns him as they kite him back away. And Team Liquid, a 3-1 team fight win. Make it 4 as Flame goes down as well. And Team Liquid with a decisive Game 2 win are going to push this series to a 3rd.